to raise money from the stock exchange, going by the profits you've recorded so far? Would you need the public's money?
So far, we have been blessed by extremely strong and solid investors that are backing our operation. Should it be Millicom, should it be MTN, and obviously our initial investor that was Rocket Internet. So far, we don't need money and we don't need investments, and we have a growth plan that is actually very safe and secure for the years to come. But if we want to reach the size that we want to reach and explode the way we want to explode, at some point we will have to get there. And it's something that I'm very much looking forward.
Now, in terms of just talking investment, let me come to Tobena. Investment is very important in any venture, whether you're private equity, whether you're venture capitalist, whether you're angel investor, as the case may be. But for those aspiring to go into the online business, Tobena, what would you ascribe? What would you tell them? What would you suggest that they do to attract investment because they want to grow and expand their businesses?
Well, the first thing is, the good thing about the class of investors you've mentioned is that they believe in vision. They have a healthier risk appetite. So the first thing they want to see is that this is a venture that is viable. This is a venture that is scalable. Viable meaning that it can work. Scalable meaning that it can grow fast. And this is a venture that can be very big, because these investors are the investment version of what you can call cowboys. And the thing about cowboys is, yes, they risk heavy, but they also want to get heavy rewards. So if it's a venture that you look at and you think that there is a genuine need, and that need can be scaled to reach a lot of people and to grow really fast and wide, then they can come in.
Okay, we actually have some tweets. I asked our viewers to send in tweets, and some of them are beginning to come in. One is from Tunde from Abuja. He's asking that, do we have e-commerce business laws in place in Nigeria? I think I tried to ask that earlier on. Do we have any?
Specifically, to my knowledge, specific
to
laws,
e-commerce?
No.
We
are,
yet.
but we abide to the same set of laws as every other business in the country.
Okay, another question via tweet is from Sunday from Lagos. It says, I have a problem with the attitude of some of the practitioners in the e-commerce business. Most of the companies are not willing to move away from traditional ways of doing business. What does that say to you?
I'm not sure to see what is inferred here, and I'm not sure. I hope it's not meant at Jumia, but I think we are should it be internally in the organization or externally in the organization, we are always, how can I say, fueling and living the same dream. And what we're trying to do is build the biggest e-commerce in Nigeria, and to provide the best experience, the most convenient, and the best price, and for the widest type of assortment in the market. And by doing so, also offering huge opportunities to our staff to grow and to become expert in the future of the Nigerian economy. And I hope that dream is enough and exciting enough to shatter that suspicion.
I want to ask Tobena this question. Are there still traditional ways that we're doing things here that could be detrimental to the growth of the e-commerce business?
Well, traditional ways, perhaps one of the areas he's talking about is cash payment on delivery. And that, for me, is a reaction to the market's demand. If customers don't yet have that very high degree of trust, they might say, deliver first and then I'll pay. That is just meeting the customer's needs. And we should look at it, we realize that e-commerce has an E and commerce. You're actually, you're doing it over the internet, but it's still regular commerce. And if you want to succeed in business, you have to meet the customer at their point of need. So if there are needs that the customer has, and however you can meet it, you satisfy it.
Are we dynamic enough in this business? Do you think we've exercised some level of dynamism?
Well, given the challenges, we've been very dynamic. I must commend the e-commerce practitioners, because the environment is quite challenging. The market is quite grim. And so there's a lot, to have come this far, they've done a lot. A lot can be done, but they've been quite dynamic.
I would like to ask you a question about the insecurity challenge in the country, because I know that you are into logistics, and you, at some point, you move your goods around the country. Have you ever had challenges with, the north, the challenges of insecurities in the north?
So there is. The first thing that is the most important to me is the safety and security of my staff, and I will never put them in jeopardy for any kind of business and operation. That being said, we are meant to provide goods and services to every Nigerian, and hopefully and lucky for us so far, we have not experienced any bad event hitting us in the past, and we are taking all the security measures that we can take to make sure that it stays that way. That's basically it.
Okay, Tobena, what do you think the government should do? We're wrapping up soon, to aid e-commerce business. We talked about policies earlier on. What are those things that you think should be put on the table to enable the growth of the business?
Well, there are two ways to look at it. From the first perspective, you have what we can term the enabling environment as well. The physical enabling environment, internet, roads, infrastructure, making sure that it creates an environment where business can thrive. And the second thing is actually, if you have to put in policies, facilitating policies. Because whenever people talk of policies, talk about policies that regulate, that constrict. This is an industry that is growing. So you bring in policies that would facilitate growth. The Minister of Comtech was talking about the prospect of giving some of these e-commerce companies pioneer status, whereby they enjoy tax breaks. The government supports them to make sure that they actually take off, especially for the smaller businesses coming up. So if the government has to do something, it's looking at things like that, making sure that all the bottlenecks that companies may face are mitigated against, and that the industry thrives. Once the industry starts thriving, like the telecoms industry, like the banking industry, then you can now come with more specific regulations.
So you've had tax breaks, Nicholas?
Tax breaks?
Did you have any?
No.
Not yet. Okay, we hope that the government is looking towards doing that and encouraging e-commerce business in Nigeria. Thank you, gentlemen. I have to go at this point. I have to also let you go as well. Thank you. We've been talking to Nicholas Martin. He's the CEO at Jumia, and Tobena Okoli, the CEO at Solomon Hunt Limited. And both men have been looking at the development of e-commerce in Nigeria. It's, of course, regarded as Nigeria's economic growth driver. We're looking at the boom. It's actually the boom season right now. And I want to thank Tunde from Abuja and Sunday from Nicholas, from Lagos rather, that sent in their tweets. We do appreciate your time with us, our viewers as well. Thank you so much for watching. I am Bolaji Akinwale.